Kevin, you can sing that high note. And he's watching us all with the eye. If not, well, it'll be what it is. Other than that, we're good. You ready to go, Peter? Why not? It's so easy.
You already do have a takes.
We're doing the whole normal opening. Paul, you ready?
Give me the nod.
Yeah, we'll give you the nod. No, you're good. You're right on. Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rising up, back on the street. I did my time, took my chances. I went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man with the will to survive. So many times it happens so fast. You trade your dread for your glory. Don't lose grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight to keep them alive. And free as the tiger, just the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of your rival. And the last known survivor locks his way in the dark, and he's watching the sovereign eye of the tiger.
Now introducing the host of this show. It's your two-time President's Club Award winner and the captain of this ship. It's both Pete Van Dyke, folks.
Hey, welcome everybody live from the Dutch Hall. I'm the host of your program, Pete Van Dyke. Thank you very much for tuning in again. Last time we left you on a cliffhanger. We were in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit model Survivor game with the nocturnal emissions. The grand prize to spend a day with a clone of one of the winner of this woman to do whatever you can please with them with a full hall pass from your wife, girlfriend, or fiance in Wes's case, right? And this is, we left you with 4, we started with 13 women. We ended up with 4. The 4 remaining women, 2, what do we got? 2 Americans, a Canadian, and a Brazilian. Much against Wes's wishes.
He was wanting to get rid
He's
of
been
her.
seeking to destroy the Brazilians since the beginning. He has something against her. I don't know what it is. I think he's a hair lover. I think he might be a hair lover.
He likes it natural.
Yeah, he likes it a little bit bushy, a little bit like gamey back there. I don't know what he is.
It's got a gamey taste.
That's Wes's prerogative. I don't want to judge him for that. This is my place to judge Wes. Whiskey Wes. But all we got to do, we got to have a great show for you, everybody. For those of you that tuned in last week and you're coming back to find out who the heck is going to be the person that gets cloned and banged by the nocturnal emissions and my brother Paul and Jordan.
Wow.
This is the right show for you to tune back into, but we got to get this thing started. There's only one way to do it, and that's to introduce the band, the Nocturnal Emissions, the greatest band in Canadian late night history. Guys, you want to hear it for on rhythm and vocals? That's our band leader, Michael Bowe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Beside him, playing lead guitar, that's Steve, the reluctant German. In the corner, tickling the skins, that's our CRTC required Frenchman. The French tickler, Kev Belange, everybody. And playing bass, the man who's right where he belongs, between the legs of the Nocturnal Emissions, hanging low. The balls of the Nocturnal Emissions, Whiskey Wes Hagens, everyone. And 10 in the bar end, working on the announcer position. That's my brother. Don't forget about him.
Hello, folks.
My brother, Paul Van Dyke, everyone. Let's get this show going. So, we're going to get this one started. Oh, sorry about that. Oh.
Big long intro.
Why would you be
Number
sorry?
one, this is second week in a row
Top of the tongue.
where
top
my
of the
brother
teeth.
has put a shot right in front of me for a show. Can you believe that? 2 weeks in a row, Paul. I don't know how many weeks you've done where you've perhaps maybe been preoccupied with your life. You got different things on the go. You got different responsibilities, right? You got you're sometimes tired because you're putting a whole house together from scratch, right? It wasn't a house before you were there.
Sometimes I don't give a shit if you have a drink.
Why?
Only sometimes that's why you don't get one.
Yeah, but I'm not going to hire a guy to be my bartender if he says stuff like that, right?
The
Which-
pay's shit.
The pay is shit. That is a valid point,
Fair
Paul.
enough.
Well, anyways, Paul, for that very reason, he changes me, eh? What he is wise, eh? He shows me wisdom. Thank you for this shot, Paul. Let's give a toast to old Paul Van Dyke.
Cheers to Polly.
Cheers to Polly.
Wes, I forgot you.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, the
Wes gonna
tiger.
kick your ass at the end of the thing. You better give him some whiskey because that guy he's not gonna mess around.
They're gonna
Wes won't even talk to you. He'll just he'll
Grapple
say
ya.
nothing until one day he's ripping your throat out like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's called White Ninja.
Is that what they call that move?
Yeah, he pulls out of nowhere and
He's
I've
white.
seen it happen before.
Oh, the White Ninja Wes?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, he's like a sleeper pick. Because he stays under the radar the whole time.
Yep.
He would be a good one in one of these reality shows like Big Brother or Survivor or something like that. Wes would be a perfect contestant because Wes can fly under the radar the whole time. You're not going to be afraid to help out. You're going to be a good help, Wes, right? Right?
I'm not really a people person, though, so I don't think I'd last.
Yeah, but you're quiet.
Yeah, but people piss me off. They're assholes.
Oh, you're going to say it, aren't you? You can't bite your tongue, Wes.
Not for very long, though.
Damn it. That's the ruin of the Van Dyke blood in you, eh? That's what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
I blame that on your grandma.
Yeah,
She gave it that blood to you.
I think so.
And that's the same blood that runs through my veins and Michael's veins.
Yeah.
What's your phone doing, Mike?
It's not my phone. I hear a little background something, but it's not me.
Something somewhere.
Oh, yeah? It is something, isn't
Yeah,
it? Anyways, no big deal.
Sounds
No,
like a
just,
Queens of the Stone Age album.
but I was going to say, Michael,
Yes.
Wes has running through his veins
blood.
the blood of the Van Dyke.
Yeah, his grandma and our grandma are sisters, right?
No. His grandma and our grandpa,
Oh, sorry.
Peter Van
My
Dyke.
bad.
Peter Van Dyke, our brother and
Okay,
sister.
my bad.
You remember when Steve's relatives put my grandpa and Wes's grandma on the wall of the castle of Gemmert and shot bullets at them?
Yeah, our hometown of Kemmert, Steve.
Do you remember that?
Wasn't there.
No, Steve wasn't there, but his relatives were. His ancestors. They were there shooting at our grandpa and your grandma, my Tante Lencha.
Yeah,
Or no,
Tante Leche.
yeah, Tante Lencha, yeah. And then I got to tell you, I don't appreciate that, Steve. And you can tell your family next time you're over in Germany celebrating whatever you celebrate there.
Wednesday.
That what? That's a
Ash Wednesday.
what? There's no Catholics in Germany. What's the O about?
What are the ashes from?
From the Catholic Church when they put
No,
it in the
from
little
the
bucket.
incinerator.
Oh, that's why.
Not a funny matter.
No, that's a joke. That's not for the for. I wouldn't laugh at that. Yeah, Wes.
My bad. Too soon?
Yeah,
Steven, you son of a
Dude.
bitch.
too soon. Who said that? Wes, you said it's too soon? I thought it was Steve, and I was be like, I would not let that go. I'd let it go with you because that's funny, Wes. But what Steve just did, if Steve would have done it, it would be like, that's insensitive considering. Steve.
Sorry.
You know when Steve grew up? He grew up in London. He grew up in London, Ontario, where nobody like points out your heritage and then makes fun of you till you cry.
Ever.
Yeah. That doesn't happen in London, Ontario. No, you can fucking settle down, girls. Oh, couple of falls. The girls are having a tussle. We're going to have to say this. They were supposed to keep out of this show until we were ready to get back into this. But two of the girls decided they're going to have a friggin' brouhaha back there and knock themselves over. Those are crazy, crazy broads. I just want you to take that into consideration
They're tipsy.
when you're voting later on tonight. That these two here,
Who was it?
the high school graduate and the Canadian, are left standing. Kate Upton and the Brazilian decided to have a brouhaha. Ha, ha.
They don't like the cut of each other's jibs.
No, they don't. Hey, Wes, who you think started it? Who do you think started that brouhaha? Maybe the one that's been the thorn in your side? Hey?
Old yellow bikini.
Old yellow suit herself, Miss Brazilian. What do you think, they dive too much in soccer, Wes? What's the problem with the Brazilians? You got one. There's a prejudice there. I don't know what it is.
I'm not going there tonight.
By you saying you're not going there, it's
Not
basically
tonight.
saying it's like even worse than I was thinking. I thought it was just some sort of a body thing, but maybe it's Portuguese. You don't like the fact she speaks Portuguese? Is that it? It's all ooshes and ooshes?
Chupa uma filha.
Ah,
Pisa uma pusa.
hey, my cousin, he lives in Montreal.
Não, claro, cama.
Hey, go to the bakery, get some popsicles. So good for you. I like it. It's so good for you. Hey, I go see my cousin in Montreal. He's going to get me some money, right? Is that because he talks like that? Is that why it bothers you?
That could be part of it.
Does it make her less sexy when she goes, hey, Wes, you want to go see my cousin in Montreal?
Chicken in the wine.
Doesn't tickle my fancy.
That's fair enough. That's an honest answer. You don't have to be ashamed of that. Hey, it's an ugly language. It's an ugly, ugly language.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah. You know what, guys? This is an exciting cliffhanger we left all of our fans on, and we need to get back to the program to find out which one of these lovely ladies is going to be cloned and fornicated with. Oh, no, sorry. And done whatever is going to be done in your own personal taste behind your wife's back
With a clone.
with a clone of this girl, a clean clone, a never before touched clone.
A fresh vagined clone.
Yeah. Like if one of these girls here behind us has had sex with Charlie Sheen and not had a checkup since, it's of no consequence to us in this game
I don't need tiger blood.
because we know we're getting a clone of her that's been never touched, right? And the clone's from when before that, before she was diseased. If you clone a person when they're already diseased, they don't become diseased. The clone's not diseased, right?
We're going to assume that.
Let's just say that in our universe, which we're in, where we went and spent a week with the supermodels, and Charles wasn't invited, and then the next week he asked to come back, like this week here for this show. Charles is like, "Hey, I'm ready. You know, no more hockey." I'm like, "Hey, Charles, why don't you go fuck yourself right up the ass, hey?"
Yeah, that's 3 in a row. Fuck you.
Three
Three in a
shows
row.
in a row this
That's rude.
cock's missed.
You.
And he's trying to make himself seem like, hey, I'm the man that writes the music for the show. You're man that used to, buddy. Old news, buddy. Maybe you show up for a show once in a while. 3 shows in a row, that's unprecedented, man. Unprecedented. Hey, Michael, have you ever done that? 3 shows?
No, I apparently I have done 2 now for sure, and I felt a lot of shame about it.
The 2 shows.
2 in a
that
row.
But that was a wedding-related issue,
Yeah,
right?
I thought I'd get like a free pass for that one.
Yeah, well, I'm just called you a liar.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
I did say I would never do it.
Yeah, you said you'd never do it, and you did it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh, I love my wife. She's the making my whole life perfect and complete."
Yeah, she won.
Yeah. And you just
So
turned
I'll
on
take
your
your shit.
word, man. You turn on your word
Yeah,
to
fair
your
enough,
cousin
but
Pete.
But you know what? It didn't do 3.
You will never do 3 like a piece of shit like Charters.
I don't think I will.
No, right? That's a cock move. 3 in a row.
That's a big old thick.
This guy
Polish
even
cock
wants
move.
to call himself a member of the show, missing 3 shows in a row. He's like, "What do you even know about our show, man? We change so much week after week. You know how much
missed a
work
fucking
we
month.
put." The one 2 weeks ago, we had duct tape all over the wall, putting pictures. Now there's frames. You know what? Even between like part 1 and part 2 of this show,
There's a sound booth now.
I put a sound booth in.
Yeah.
That's what I did. In 1 fucking week, I'll just change everything around. Charter's going to come in. He's not going to even know who the characters are on this show. You know, hey, Charters, you ever heard of Jordan Gortva?
Yeah.
You ever heard of him?
Guess who's
He's
here?
he's our favorite guy. He's actually way better than you. And you shouldn't even come back ever. Because we have Jordan now, and he's much more personable. Does everyone agree that we like Jordan better than Dave?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go, Charters. So if you miss 4 weeks in a row, which is next week's show, you're officially fired. That's
Fair.
the only
That's fair.
answer.
That's fair. Full month miss. Well, see you later.
Full month miss, Michael. Do I need to, like, that
You miss
is
a month, you're out.
out. You're out. You have to earn your way back in. And I don't think he can do it because he's already, like, on thin ice to begin with, right? Because his talent's not that good, right?
And he's husky.
Yeah. And he's not like, I mean, honestly, when I'm going to put an aesthetic out to the public, right? Steve, you're a talented guy. You're ugly and stuff, but you're talented, right? But then I got a Van Dyke here. I got Van Dyke blood over there on base, right? Those are handsome motherfuckers, man. They're going to end up selling tickets. They're going to put bums in seats. They're going to get girls dancing, right? Steve, your talent's going to do that. Not your looks, but your talent's going to do that. That's okay. I still want you in the band. Kev, you're a sleeper pick, buddy. Girls love you. You don't love yourself, and you need to love yourself more. That's what you need to do, buddy, because girls love you, dude. You're missing the prime years of your life. You need to be out there sticking your dick into things, and everyone agrees that here, right?
Yep.
By round of applause, who agrees Kevin should stick his dick in more things? Because we have all missed our years, and they're gone, and we can never get them back, and you have them in front of you, my friend. Put your dick in things, please, for us, and tell us the stories in great detail. That's all we ask. It's not too much.
Yes, dear God.
I know you're a gentleman, but still, just do it for the sake of your balls.
Mercy.
And us.
And us too, yes, because we only have, how much does Mike want to hear about me banging my wife when he looks at my wife like his own cousin now because we've been married so long?
that's true.
She's like a member of your own family. Now it's like 2 of your family members fucking. That's disgusting for you to listen to, right?
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful thing, but yeah, I'm not.
You're right.
I'm not,
You don't
like,
want to hear it.
writing home about it.
Well, it's like one of your aunts and uncles. You don't want to hear your aunt and uncle having sex,
Yeah, I know a couple of them that are.
Well, we had some horny aunts and uncles. We're breeding Dutch, We're the breeding Dutch, and we like to fuck.
Not to name any names, but it's a good time.
You know what? One thing about the Van Dykes is that we hate one thing, and it's always been that way. And I think this is a genetic thing. I think if you could find our gene and you could pin it down, you would be able to say this is a distinctly Van Dyke gene, and it is something that is undeniable. That's something that's built into our being of who we are, and that's we do not pull out. We do not, under any circumstance, pull out.
We love breeding.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. We plant deep, and we do and if you want to put some sort of bag over top of it before we do that,
That's rude.
I find it rude. I mean, I find it to be just like saying, why don't you just, then I'll just fuck a bag. I won't, why would I have sex with a person when I could just have sex with a fucking bag, a lubed up bag? It's actually not that bad. You ever jerked off into a condom, Paul? It's not too bad. Give it a try, man. Give it a try. It's not. You're judging it before you ever even tried it. Come on, Paul. Give it a goddamn try. Thank you, buddy. That's all I asked. You know what? Let's get into this game show. There's only one way to do it. We got to do a segment we call feedback. We got feedback first.
We got feedback. It's feedback. It's motherfucking feedback.
This week's feedback, we got feedback, is brought to you by our brand new primary sponsors, Spiky Ball Studios.
Whoa.
Hey, you want to plan a night out with your family? You want to maybe raise some money for your service group or a charitable organization? Well, give us an email at livefromthedutch@gmail.com because we have a spring stand-up series already booked with three of the greatest stand-up comics in Canada. Some of our first headliner, May Scaloni, he's coming in May. The guy's on at this hour is 22 minutes. He's one of the most talented comedy writers in the country, and he's actually one of the sweetest guys I know. He's a terrific fella, and he's coming to Delhi, Ontario, squeezing us in his busy schedule so he can perform for us in Delhi. This is May Scaloni, and you know what you can do? You can sell the tickets. I'll give you 75% to your service club for if you sell those tickets. 75% of the ticket proceeds are going to go back to your club, and then the rest of that's going to go pay for the show. And we're going to have a great time. And you can have silent auctions and 50-50s, whatever you want, to raise more money for your club. It's a great idea to raise money for whatever you want to do. So if you have a charitable cause and you want to raise some money, give us a call or give us an email, I should say, at spikyballstudios@gmail.com or Live from the Dutch Hall or Dutch Hall. Or who the fuck is that? Is it me? It's not this.
Is it a radio frequency going to your amp?
From what?
That's somebody's amp. Yeah, it's your amp. It's catching the
Who's got
frequencies.
you got your pedal on?
Yep.
Turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit of technology.
Technology, that'll get us.
Technology gets us every time. It's a real motherfucker. You know what? One piece of technology that got us a few weeks ago, and we never really talked about it on this program, but we'll do it in this week's segment of feedback. We got feedback. Is
Cock.
is the old death pool. We're gonna have to go back to the death pool on this one. We never really addressed this one, but it was quite the chatter amongst the listening audience when we had announced that Bob Cole had died, and Michael had won the first to die in the pool.
I was fucking mad about
And you were also horrified. Like, you were not happy about your victory because you're a big fan of Bob Cole.
Well, number one, I hated my pick. Number two, you guys told me he was dead the day of or the next day. Number three, he wasn't dead. He's a fucking legend. My heart was, emotions were running through me. I hated you guys for a bit. To be honest, I didn't know if I was going to come next week. I said, they fucking tricked me. What kind of joke is this?
To be honest with you, Michael, it was not a trick. I wish it was.
I wish it was, too.
I wish it was because I would have.
Jobs?
Because that was so funny if I would have thought of it like that, but I was just stupid. I didn't check my research. This is what really happened. I looked on the internet, and it said Bob Cole remembered or something like that.
Yeah, they did he did his last Leafs game.
Yeah.
So they did they do a big cheers for him up in the booth. The whole arena stood up and saluted him. You guys thought he was fucking dead because of that.
Yeah, because of that headline.
What
I
a
only
bunch
read
of
the
idiots.
I only read the headline and I went right into death. Call it. Move
And you
on.
confirmed it with Steve.
Yeah.
You both told me.
He's never
dead.
heard of Bob Cole before.
Yeah, he's like Bob Cole. Yeah, dead. Canadian fucking icon.
Well, last week we played the song of the Monkees. We played Steppin' Stone or whatever.
Yep.
And because Peter Tork, isn't it? Peter Tork died. He was I think he was a bass player.
He's the bass player. Here's the blonde guy.
Yeah, the blonde guy. Peter Tork died.
Blonde guy.
And now, is that confirmed? Who knows?
Who knows? At this point, who knows?
We might have done all of that last week for nothing.
I've seen it on the internet for a week. I think we're good.
You've seen a week of Peter Tork
Yeah,
tributes?
he's dead. A lot of Peter Tork tributes.
The last week.
I got caught in a wormhole after that song.
You really became a Monkees fan?
Wow, sick tune. I don't know.
And there's a couple good ones, eh? Like, it's not just Stepping Stone. Let's talk with the Monkees. They're a fake band, right?
Yeah, that's right.
They're not a real band. They have, they were put together like an in sync or something, like, right? They were like made because they're pretty and made for TV, right? But some of them can play instruments. Peter Tork was actually the only real musician of the whole group, as I remember.
I thought it was the other guitarist.
Michael Nesmith?
Yes.
No, actually, Peter Tork, I think also. Maybe it was both of them. But I know Davy Jones is just a singer.
Right.
And the other guy, Mickey Dolenz, also just a singer, right? And then they fake their instruments.
Singer slash actor.
Slash buffoon.
Yeah, yeah. But as a result, they played, what's the one that they played? It was in like Shrek.
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer, right? That's a good Monkey song, isn't it?
Written
Yeah,
by
good
Neil
point.
Diamond.
Is it really written by Neil Diamond?
Yep.
Yeah, but you gotta. In those days, it was a different story, you know. And I think of it from a comedy perspective, if let's say, it's different, right? Like if let's take both these examples I'm thinking of. The first one being that Neil Diamond wrote a song for the Monkees. The Monkees performed it, but they did a good job of it, right? Where that people liked the song, right? So they did their job, right? So nothing wrong with that. And then look at Chris Rock, right? Chris Rock did a comedy album, and he wrote it, but he got like other comics to help him make it better, right? So does that diminish his work because he had somebody help him make it better, or does it make him a better artist because he found the resources to make his work better?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
You know, because I've heard comics criticize Chris Rock that he says other people wrote his stuff, and I'm like, and Chris Rock probably came up with his own premises, but they just like punched up his punchlines or found new tags or did something like that to make his jokes even better, so that when he went to do his special's even better than it was, but it wasn't all him anymore.
I think if you rely on that's the only thing you do, then it would diminish you a bit. But if you're a star and somebody's helping you out, I don't think that's that big of a deal. You've already proved yourself, right?
Hey, Shazma, can you come to a microphone quickly just to give me your opinion on this? If you can, even come to mine. You mean you can share a shot?
Over here.
Who's on camera right now?
Sweetheart.
Technicians.
Oh, so I gotta ask you, Shaz. So Chris Rock's the example. You're a comedian. You're a professional stand-up comedian.
Am I?
Yes, you are. I've seen you get paid. I've seen people pay you money for saying words into a microphone that people have given you like cash into your hand, and I've watched it happen. You're a professional comedian, Shaz. So you're a professional comedian. You look at a guy like Chris Rock. You have great respect for Chris Rock, yes?
Oh, I love Chris Rock.
Yeah, he's an excellent comedian. But you know that Chris Rock wrote his show and then hired other comedians to help him punch it up before he went to do his special. Does that diminish him as an artist?
No, I don't think so, because it's Chris Rock. So he probably just got his buddies to hang out and laugh at his stuff and say, that's good.
No.
I think writing for Chris Rock is just going, that's good.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Because, you know, two of the examples were Nate Bargatze and Michelle Wolf.
Both hilarious comedians.
Both great comedians on their own right, right?
Yeah.
And so if you were to be smart enough, let's say Tyler Shazma was putting out his very first comedy special, which I can't
we're
wait.
not talking about Chris Rock's first comedy special.
Bigger and Blacker, let's say. He still had people punch it up.
Yeah.
Right? What I'm saying is that some comics take pride in the fact that nobody helped them. It's all them. You know, it's like a one-man show, and they did it on their own. And then other people are like, I want to make the best thing I can make to put out there. with my name on it. So which one is it? Does one, if you're saying, do you subscribe more to the air of the purist, or do you think that the better product is what's important, or is it that it's mostly you?
Yeah, I think for stand-up, it's mostly you. But if you have some buddies punching it up or writing a few lines here and there, that's cool too.
Right.
Yeah, but look at music, though. It's the same thing with music. Like, there are bands that have a bunch of people that write for them. We call these artists something like icebergs. Like, all you see is what's above the water, but really there's a whole team of people building the artist versus the band that you know is true and rocks out. I mean, both have their place, and I'm sure it's the same with comedy as well.
Yeah, but comedy's a little bit different because in the case of Chris Rock, that guy came up with his premises. He's still coming up with the concepts of the joke. Like the bulk of the 90% of the joke is him, right?
Yeah.
And then just that 10% is a punch up, you know?
Well, it's the same thing with like a good studio. I mean, you're a good producer. You bring some pretty decent songs in, and they tweak it and make it better.
Right.
And, like it's I don't know.
You'd want to use the resources around you to make that song better, wouldn't you? Like you'd want to use your engineers and anyone that's going to make that take it to the next level.
And I'm sure the people Chris Rock asks for help are like, okay, we'll help you, and they're going to do their best work, and he knows he's getting their best work.
Yeah.
So it's just going to make his work better.
And the fact that he can recognize that these guys, before they were big comedians in their own right, and these are like top level comedians that he hired as writers, they were not at the time he hired them. He picked them out because of his own, what do you call it? His knowledge of the business, that he can pick out that sort of talent to be able to recognize that it's going to help him before they're big enough to say, I'm too big to punch up your jokes for you, right? So like just that fact makes that guy talented enough. And and 90% of the joke's his anyways. I just think, I heard a guy, it was Ari Shaffir actually, that was criticizing Chris Rock about having other people write his jokes for him. And I'm like, I can guarantee you, no one wrote his jokes for him. They punched him up, and that is not that's not like a bad thing, in my opinion. It's a thing where you're trying to make your work better.
Yeah, Chris Rock didn't show up to his office and be like, all right, these are my jokes, and then walk on stage and do them. He sat down and worked with these people and probably...
Yeah.
I think Ari's just jealous is what it is.
Yeah.
He's just fucking jealous.
Well, I think that the fact that you want to stand at, like, people that are going to say, I'm going to do everything on my own, it's great. You can be proud as you want to be about that, but you're not doing as good a job as you could do. Because if you ask more people to help you, you're going to do a better job 100% of the time. That's my opinion, at least, because there's no way one guy can do as good a job as 10 guys. We've proved that here in this church.
Yeah,
You know?
like aren't you as good as the people you hire? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
In any job.
Well, if two guys are working towards one goal, you're going to get there faster than one guy does it. If four guys are working towards that goal, you'll get faster there than if two guys did it, right?
Yeah,
you know,
you respect the work that individual did to get there, but at the same time, it's like if you want to expand that idea that you have, it's nice to have other minds.
And sometimes you're going to hit a ceiling on what you can do on your own because
Right.
you're limited by yourself. But if you get a team of people together where you're all good at different things, then you can accomplish way more because you're going to be able to use everybody's best, you know,
Hence,
and fill in the blanks of the things you can't do.
Hence Spiky Ball Studios.
I think so too.
What?
That's why I was really pissed off about that Ari Shaffir interview I listened to because I like Ari Shaffir too. He's a great comic and I really do respect him. But I'm just saying I don't appreciate the criticism of that comic because he was just trying to make a good piece of work and hiring good people to do it. And you shouldn't criticize someone for hiring a comedy writer. There's so few of those fucking jobs around, right?
Yeah. I'm sure Nate Bargatze loved getting that call.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, that's a great call to get. You want to help me punch up my jokes? Fuck yeah. I'll pretend I'm a black guy that grew up in Brooklyn or whatever, for like an hour of writing. No problem. Well, guys, that is, did I do any sponsors this time? I just did Spiky Ball, and then go Norpac.
The beef people.
And then we can go, Who else do we got? Amazon. Go to our website, click on the banner. You can do your Amazon shopping, and something's gonna
Fuck up all
happen.
day.
It's good. That's it. Let's go to the second part of our Survivor with the 2018 Sports Illustrated swimsuit models. Last time we joined the ladies, there were 4 contestants left. We had the lovely Brazilian Liels Ferreiro, or whatever her name is.
Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what's got Wes, the Ferrero. Oh, sorry.
That's why he doesn't
Oh,
like
you can
her.
talk about that. He's fuck those guys, right?
Yeah,
Hey?
you suck it long.
Yeah, fuck those guys. They're long and hard.
Thanks
That's
for the
what it is.
Tic
It's an
Tacs.
old.
Peace.
We're gonna have a Wes Burns' Bridges episode, and it's gonna be way better than mine, because Wes is gonna be way more entertaining, because he doesn't give a shit about anything, man. He's the coolest. Does anyone else agree with that? Oh, Paul's gone. Anyways, we also have Kate Upton from the United States. We also have Haley Clausen from Frogmore, and we have some other Canadian girl, Kate something. Bach. That's our 4 finalists.
Sister of Sebastian.
Now, in the last segment, we had left a challenge to the girls that they had to come up with a day which we would spend for our next challenge. The winner of that challenge was Kate Upton. Kate Upton suggested that we go to the fuckholes to party with a Mexican and a super slide.
Yep.
So we all boarded a boat to leave Dutch Hall Island, and we went to go to the fuckholes
Den Fuckhouse.
to party with a Mexican and a slip and slide. And as it turns out, we got into some rough seas as we were going to the fuckholes. And the boat, which was captained by our skipper, the Mexican, was it was capsized, and the skipper perished. But the 4 remaining women and the nocturnal emissions and my brother Paul and Jordan all survived, and the host of the show, Pete Van Dyke, also survived. And we ended up on a deserted island, just all of us, with the crew and everyone, and we were able to get ourselves together and work on a plan for survival. And what we did was we spent an entire day with these women trying to scrape and scrounge for survival, and we found out some things about these girls. Now, I have these things in a bucket. I'm going to pass these around to you guys.
Okay.
Who has a girl left in the game here? It's Steve, Wes, and Jordan. Okay. And Jane, can you please, I think I kicked it over. It's got 4 in it? Yeah, that's the one. Can you pass those around? Now, we're going to have the scenarios of what we found out about these girls, and then once you have them, we will go on with it. Jordan, you were, your girl was who again? You have Ferrero? Ferrero Rocher. Now, Ferrero Rocher, you were, we spent the day there. It was an incredibly difficult day. Did you find anything out about this girl when you were observing her on the island?
I will say that she is beautiful in the photograph.
Yes.
Beautiful yellow bikini, but I wasn't too enthused. She had hairy legs like a man.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, it was really displeasing.
You've only been there a day.
Yeah, after a day, yeah.
Yes,
It really didn't take long.
Those Brazilians.
It's like a 3 o'clock.
if you do not wax the whole region quickly, it will grow back thick and bushy, is what as it turns out.
Good for the football.
Oh, interesting. Well, Michael, what about you? Did you end up finding out about Miss Upton?
Yeah, Kate and I had a nice little rendezvous, and apparently, what I learned, to my dislike, she has eye-watering bad breath.
Really?
Yeah, it smells like a dead rat is inside of a dead fish. That's her breath.
Really?
Yeah, it was horrid, but what a stunning beauty.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Just
But
the
that is
worst
disappointing.
breath,
Steve,
unfortunately.
what about your lady, the Canadian lady?
Well, you know, it's
Kate.
not used to the island food.
Oh my goodness.
And so I felt really bad. She got sick, and she ended up taking a dump in a bush,
Really?
and it smelled so bad. You could smell it anywhere you went on the island. I felt so bad for her. She's so sweet.
It's so nice you put a positive spin on it. I really appreciate it. Wes, how'd your high school graduate do?
She had plastic surgery to make her vagina so small that not even Dave's penis could fit.
Really? Wow. That is unfortunate. That's what, she just offered that up in conversation to you, Wes?
Yep.
She
Opening line.
opening line.
Real icebreaker.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? I had my pussy sewn shut. Can't even fit Dave's dick in it.
Lead story.
I might have to keep her along if it was me. I don't want to influence your judging at all, but she sounds like a pisser to me. She really does sound like a pisser. Is that all 4 of them, guys?
Yeah.
So just to summarize, Wes, what was yours again?
She has an extremely tight vagina.
Oh, right.
so
She had her,
fit.
her plastic surgery on her vagina. Steve's was, what was yours?
Pooped in a bush.
Pooped in a bush. It smells the whole island up. Michael,
Horrid breath.
horrid fish, dead rat breath. And
The old hairy legs, the old fast-growing hair.
and within one day, she has the legs of a Portuguese man. And so we have 4 women to decide which one of these has committed the worst crime and needs to be voted off of the island. Can we start with Wes? Wes, what do you think? I can't even imagine.
Ferrero Rocher, you can go fuck yourself.
Go figure.
Steve,
I'm saying goodbye to hairy legs.
hairy legs is gone.
Yeah, good night, Jim Kite. See you later, Harry.
Hairy legs.
You know, I have to say, though, like a vaginoplasty, that seems like a challenge.
Yeah.
I've shit my pants before, so I don't feel bad about the girl who shit in the bush. And stinky breath, we get that every morning. So
Yeah, I
hairy
can fix
legs,
that.
She's gone.
she's gone.
We're going to have to say, Wes, I wish you could throw this one. She's out of here.
I
See
wondered
you
why
later,
Wes was
Brazilian.
reaching for a lighter, just ready to burn that.
He really didn't like her the whole time, just staring daggers into her eyes on the boat. I was like, Wes, fucking ease up. She's just sitting there just trying to enjoy the day.
Just
She's
from
getting some
South
sea air in her
America.
nose, man.
Fucking
She's
shark
just,
bait.
I don't like her. I don't like anything. I don't like the cut of her jib. I don't like the cut of her jib. Anyways, 3 days left. 3 days left. Now there's only 3 girls left. This is getting right down to the exciting climactic finish. And we decided to take these 3 girls and play a game of truth or dare. All 3 girls chose truth. So as the host of this program, I decided to ask these girls the question. Hey, Jane, can you pass out the question here? The question is, what is your biggest secret? So of these 3 women, put up your hands if you have a girl left in the game. I guess it's these 3, right? What is your biggest secret? Michael, your girl confided to you her biggest secret. What did
I'll
she
tell
say?
You, Kate and I, we've really been hitting it off. The bad breath, we got over that. But her secret was that she ate the skipper's foot 2 hours after arriving because she was hungry.
Really?
That threw me for a bit of a loop.
Explain some things.
Right. She does seem to have a healthy appetite. I'm not going to lie to you, Michael. And do you think the cannibalism is going to be enough to sway your opinion of this poor girl?
Well, we've seen it swayed on the show before regarding one of the members, or soon-to-be former members of the Nocturnal Emission. So I'll leave it up to the Dutch Hall listeners.
Exactly, the voting public.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, what did you find out about the lovely young Canadian Kate?
You know, she was just so sweet. She still couldn't get over the fact that she So that's what she confessed to me, is that she actually was the one who shit in the bush.
It wasn't a bear.
The worst kept secret on the island was her deepest, darkest secret on the island. It was that poor woman shit in a bush. Oh my goodness. And Wes, your lovely young lady, the high school graduate, her name is Haley Clausen. What did she unveil to you?
Well, apparently she's not a lovely young lady. She was born a man.
Oh.
Born a man, post surgery though. That does change a few things. Fellas, just let that soak in for a bit. You want to just sit in the silence?
Fucking Frogmore, eh?
Yeah, get rid of Frogmore.
All right, we're going to
shit
leave this
going
to the
down.
vote. Kevin, you've been just a spectator in the corner. Who would your vote go towards? You're going with the one born a man. Jordan,
Yeah, I can't be with a chick who had a dick.
Michael,
The penis is not my flavor.
and Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same thing.
Unanimously homophobic
But it's still
and transphobic too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it
She has
was
no
there.
dick anymore. It's fashioned into a vagina that feels like a dolphin's back. It doesn't feel like a vagina, but it feels like a
Either
dolphin.
way, it existed.
Anyways, young lady, take you and your new formed vagina and beat it.
Cast her down.
And we are down to 2. This is the big time. Steve, play that chord. We're getting into the final 2. The final 2 ladies from Vancouver, British Columbia. We have Kate Bach. And from the United States of America, Kate Upton. Now, I had asked my wife at the beginning of this contest to write down the facts that we have learned about these 2 lovely young ladies that to date, so we can summarize this and find an ultimate winner of this program. Kate Bach, let's start with Kate Bach. Steve, this is the one that you represent. Kate was Miss November. She's Canadian. She smokes weed. She brought Steve for her date to her parents' house for dinner. Her idea of a fun day for all of us was a spa day with munchkins and to fuck with chapstick. She took a stinky dump in the bush because she can't handle island food. And then her greatest confession in her life was that she took that same dump in the bush. This is our finalist, Kate Bach.
Hey, Kate. Good job out there, Kate.
And the other Kate who made it to the finalists, 2 Kates made it to the end. This Kate is Miss March from 2018. She is a voluptuous, as it says. She brought, on her date, she thought it was a good idea to bring her fella, Michael, to a music festival and then later to a strip club. Her idea for our day as a day out with all the crew of us was to go to the fuck holes with a slip and slide and a Mexican. But she does have eye-watering bad breath that smells like that of a dead rat, which crawled up and died inside of a dead fish. And she secretly ate the skipper's foot within 2 hours of landing on the island because she was hungry.
We can't all be perfect.
So these are your final 2 contestants. I need to ask you guys to give me a drum roll and mull it over before I go to our very first vote.
Final vote?
Oh, wait, stop it, Kev. Hot off the press, one more piece of information came in about both girls.
Oh.
Kate Bach. Kate Bach. Stephen, this is your girl. This is hot off the wire. Kate Bach from Vancouver, British Columbia, loves anal,
Oh, Steven.
but would never, under any circumstances, perform oral sex
Oh. Fortunate.
under no circumstances.
Good and bad.
Kate Upton. Kate Upton, Michael, you know her from your date.
Yeah.
She loves
Nice.
oral sex.
Loves it. Okay.
Loves it. Orally fixated.
I like it.
That's why she ate that skipper's foot.
She's got to get something in there.
She just had to have something in her yap.
She's got a hunger.
She loves oral sex. Put a dick in there, she's happy as a clam, right? But she will never, in a million years, consider anal sex.
Okay.
Okay? These are your choices, fellas. Now I'll hit the drum roll.
Quite a pickle.
Anyone ready? Jordan.
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton stays. Michael.
I got to go with my girl, Kate Upton. Picked her from the start. And
We're picking the winner, by the way. We're not who voting out. Or you're voting out Kate, or you're keeping Kate.
Keeping Kate.
yeah, I'm
Keeping
pick-
Kate. We're
I'm-
voting for the winner now. This is the winner.
I don't need the bunghole.
So Kate Upton, Stan, you say?
Yeah, I like Kate.
Kate Upton?
Stabbing my lady in the back. I'm going Kate up.
Whoa.
Oh. Is it because of the oral anal thing? Okay.
Steve likes his blowjobs.
Well, it's a big thing, man.
Good for you.
You need that as part of the repertoire,
Yeah,
man.
you do.
There's
Fair.
a time and a place for the oral, man. The anal's like a rarity you can do away with, right? You know? Anyways, sorry, I don't mean to influence. Kevin, Upton?
Yeah.
It's universal,
You-
all for the same
wow.
reason? That was a deal breaker. If it was the other way around, would the vote be different? Would the vote be opposite?
No, I go Kate.
My vote would be the same.
If regardless of the
That
anal
didn't
oral,
sway me. No,
anal oral sway you,
personally.
Steve,
Yeah.
Wes, and Kev, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And you know it didn't matter. You're going Upton either way.
Upton either way.
Whatever she's going to give you, you're going to take. Well, the winner of this contest by almost unanimous decision is our girl. Hey, sorry. I'm going to have to, with all due respect to our Canadian girl,
Second overall.
you did not make it, girl.
Valiant effort.
Hit the bricks.
Oh, hit the bricks. And our winner by unanimous decision.
Yep.
And the 2018 Survivor Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Calendar winner, Kate Upton. All right. Guys, that has been our show. Thank you for listening 2 weeks to this ridiculous bunch of nonsense. It makes no sense whatsoever. But if you like to, tell a friend. You can do anything you want to help us make people know about our program. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, live from the Dutch Hall, gmail.com. We'll take feedback any way we can get it. Otherwise, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday.